Good morning, gang. Happy Wednesday morning. Unless, of course, you're in Southern California. Yeah, we can start watching this, not start, but continue to watch this Palisades fire that is going on in SoCal here that is just crazy. This thing is moving extremely fast. When it started yesterday, it was a brush fire on the side of the mountain. As of about 3 o'clock this morning, this thing had consumed over 3,000 acres. It's spread down into Malibu. It's spread down into Palisades. I mean, it's destroying houses. It's now got into the people. You know, it's destroying mansions. I mean, there's stories on A-list celebrities that have lost their houses. I mean, Heidi Montag, James Woods, getting out and going crazy. This is interesting, I guess, to take a look at, because just the other day, I was telling you about this chemical fog. And you look at, if you go back a few days and look at some of the video that people were posting about the fog, about the chemtrails that were over SoCal, it's interesting. At least you start to wonder what's fueling this fire. I mean, granted, it's dry grass, it's dead trees, it's buildings, etc., etc. But why is this thing moving so fast? I mean, firefighters have come out in interviews here in the last 24 hours and said, we've never seen a fire that moves like this. We go put it out and it starts right back up. You know, it's almost like it's those birthday candles, you know, that you blow out and then they start again. That's what this fire's doing. The other interesting thing is you have very high winds. Now, granted, this area is mountainous, okay, but not Rocky Mountains, but California mountains. If you've ever been out to California, you know what they call mountains. The rest of us would call them hills. But that'll cause the winds to swirl. I will give you that. But this fire is burning in all directions. You have 60-mile-an-hour winds, 80-mile-an-hour gusts that are blowing. You think that would push the fire all in that direction. But the fire keeps going in the other direction, too. It's expanding north, south, east, west, all over the place, which is confusing the firemen. Why? Could it have anything to do with that chemical smell of the fog, of the, as in some places saw it as chemical snow, but okay, it's warmer in California. Could it have been chemical rain? Do we have a bunch of flammable chemicals that were spread on the ground? And could that be the reason? Again, use my birthday candle idea. How's that work? That's not just a wick inside some wax. There's chemicals in there that cause it to reignite. Okay. Why do we say something like this? Let's go back to Maui. You know, a while back here, not that long, less than 2 years ago. And you had all the fires burning like crazy. Maui still hasn't been rebuilt. You have all the uber elitists who are in there, and the governments try, you know, when I say governments, I mean federal, state, local, okay, not multi-countries, trying to purchase this land from the people for pennies on the dollar. Oh, what does that sound like? That sounds like East Tennessee and Western North Carolina. Let's go in there and buy all this land for pennies on the dollar, right? What have we heard for a few years now from the globalists? We want 15-minute cities. Now, take a look at real estate in California. You have little shacks that were built in the 1960s on a postage stamp lot that if they're for sale, they're $1 million. Okay. Crazy costs for housing. How to fix the housing problem. These people won't sell. We need this area. I'm speculating. We need this area to turn these into 15-minute cities. They'll call them planned communities. You guys have all seen planned communities, right? They pop up every once in a while. It's got neighborhoods and a drugstore and grocery store and doctor's offices and yada-da-da-da-da-da, and everything's within walking distance. Those are what 15-minute cities are. You can be anywhere in the city in 15 minutes, except your job, basically. Okay. Could this be a attempt by the government to, hey, if they won't sell it to us, it'd take too long to buy it all anyway, let's just burn it all down, and then we'll be in control of how it's rebuilt, right? Put that past Gavin Newsom. Put that past Joe Biden. Where's the money going to come from? I mean, we know insurance companies are pulling out of California like crazy, right? For all sorts of different reasons. How many of these people are going to be left without a home and have no insurance, or the insurance says, sorry, we can't pay that claim, or you didn't even have insurance, and the government comes in as the white knight and says, we'll give you $100,000. But my house was worth $1 million. Yeah, but your house isn't here anymore. It's just the land. That's all it's worth. That's what they're looking at. Could that be feasible? Yeah. It's the same thing that happened in Maui. There ain't any rebuilding going on in Maui. Heard any rebuilding going on in western North Carolina or eastern Tennessee? No. They're putting up tiny houses. Those work. Okay. We have to do it now. But this is their opportunity to completely change the landscape and build it into a futuristic city. Mark my words, that's what's coming. You won't see the same houses, businesses, streets, whatever, after they rebuild here than what you have now. Now, how does this affect the rest of us? There's the bigger question. Well, let's start with the fact of Los Angeles is one of the largest populated cities in the country. Mind you, the fire's at 0% containment, guys. Okay. So, just because it's just in Malibu or Palisades or anything like that, this thing's going to keep going. It's bad. How far it gets, who knows? What does it eventually take out? Don't know. Okay. And I'm not going to get into where different things are on the maps or anything like that. It's like, is the airport close or something? I'm not going to start trying to project the direction of the fire. This thing's going all over the place. Who knows how far it'll spread. But it's going to displace a lot of people. The interesting part is who's it displacing? Homeowners, for the most part. And at this point, it's wealthier homeowners. Well, where are they going to go? Some may get smart and leave California altogether. Okay. But, that big property that, so-and-so had their mansion on, we can put an apartment complex on there and house a bunch of illegals. Or put low-income housing. Or, if you want to be in California, I don't care how much you make, all you can afford is low-income housing. Because low income in California is like anything under $500,000 a year. I want you to think about this for a second. Is this the last city they're going to do this to? No. How long until we see something like this happen in Dallas, Chicago, San Francisco, Boston, New York, Miami, wherever, okay? Because if they can redo the big cities into 15-minute cities, that was their ultimate goal in the first place. To to move us all into these 15-minute cities. How many of them can you build in this area once it all burns out? Once everything's gone, you got to start over. Why not just start over the way the future should be? Right? Excuse me. Yes, it seems I'm coming down with the cold, so just deal with it. Again, take heed from something like this. You look at the stories on these people, and some people got so panicked when they were on the road trying to get out that they just abandoned their cars on the road. You know, fire was coming over the hill or whatever. You know, understand how fires work. They go up well. They don't go down well at all. They just abandoned their cars on the road and ran toward the ocean. Okay, whatever. So the fire department couldn't get through with all these trucks, with their fire trucks, because all these cars were stuck on the road. So the first thing they had to do was bring a bulldozer out to bulldoze these cars off the road. Oh, and of course the bulldozer had to be careful not to do too much damage to the car, so he had to take his time, which the fire's not going, sure, no problem, well, I'll just wait here while you clear the road. So it just spread more and more and more and more and more, okay? Population density didn't help, you know. You have house upon house upon house upon house upon house, and it's just fuel for fire like crazy, right? Okay, this is all these different things. I mean, people were furious when they were going to pick their kids up from school to get them out of harm's way. The schools were requiring them to fill out paperwork about letting their kids out of school early. I'm surprised there aren't a whole bunch of bloodied school officials, because I'd beat the crap out of somebody who said, no, I can't have my own kid. But it makes you start to look at, where are you? Are you in one of these highly densely populated areas? Now, what if this happens in your area? Where are you going to go? Do you even can you get out? Do you even want to be there? Do you start to think about this and go, you know what? Maybe being here in the city ain't the greatest idea. Maybe being here in the suburbs ain't the best idea. Maybe I do need to get out. You know, you start to look at where the U.S. is populated and where we're not. All that flyover country we have, you know, the Democrats call Middle America. You know, maybe all of a sudden that looks like a little safer place to live, because I'm not tripping over people as I'm trying to get out of a fire. Again, this is another one. Use this as a learning exercise. Figure out what your escape plan is, if not just your house goes on fire, but the entire city does. Where are you going to go? And please do not have the answer, I'm going to go up the road and get a hotel. The millions of people in Los Angeles all have the same idea. There aren't that many freaking hotel rooms. Okay. Where are you going to go? What is your plan? Do you have a network of people that you can come stay with that are outside the area? Do you have all your important paperwork, documents, gold and silver, whatever you have, easily ready? You only have minutes to get out of your house feasibly. You're not going to start going, well, let me see, where did I put my passport? Where's the title to the car? You know, it should all be in one spot, easy to grab and ready to go. We've talked about this many times before. Is this a government-induced fire? It might be. Can't prove it. Nobody will ever tell us whether it is or not. But it's amazing how the stories we're hearing already so much sound like Maui. We're running out of water. We can't get the fire equipment in there. We don't have enough personnel. Let it burn. Pinball out.